design. Welcome to Throwback Thursday. This is a little weekly series that I do where I dig back in my stash and I pull out a slightly older or a really old paper collection and tools and goodies, and we make something fresh and new. So this week we're going to be working with Photoplay, our friendship through the years. And I think this came out sort of at the beginning of 2022 or at the end of 2021. Time goes so fast I can't keep track. But it's a very fresh, modern collection. I like the color palette a lot, and it's got a lot of really great elements in it. I've made a couple of projects with it. As you can see, it's been cut up over time. I just thought I'd give you a look at what is in it. It has two separate sentiment sheets, which is really nice. And then I always love Photoplay's plaids, but you can see it's very modern and sort of impressionistic, but really fun to work with. So I thought, since slimline cards are all the rage, we would make a slimline card. And we're going to make a gatefold slimline. And I'm working with an older Amazing Paper Grace die. This is called the Tiara Rondelle. And this is a great die, and you'll see how we use it. I've got some Prima, Say It With Crystals. I'm not sure what collection. Oh, this is from Lavender, which is a really old collection. And then I've actually got these, which are ancient. I don't even know how long I've had them. And then some Little Birdie flowers. These are my favorite Renee, and these are in Sangria. I use a lot of the Moonlight. So we're going to start, let me just move things out of the way here and bring in my scoring tool. I've got some Cherry Cobbler cardstock. This is from Stampin' Up. And this is 8.5 inches wide by 8.5 inches tall. So we've just created a square. I scored it at 2 1/8, 6 3/8. And then you've got this, you end up with this 4 1/4 by 8.5 slimline. Only it's got a gatefold, which is a really nice look for this kind of card. So we're going to start on the inside, and I've pre-cut some pieces here. I'm going to show you a few little nifty tricks. First, I'm going to show you how to make a pocket. This is a short piece, and then here's another piece of the same pattern, and I want to join these together, but I just want to show you I'm joining them together so that the pattern on the back is upside down, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm just going to bring in my adhesive, put a bead of adhesive along the bottom, overlap by about 1/4 inch. This is a trick that I use a lot to extend short papers. And we know that our card base is 8.5 inches high. So I want to score this. Here's 8.5, here's 8 1/4. I'm going to go right in between the two and score right here. Now this is going to come up, and look, it forms a pocket, but the text is going in the right direction. So that's why I joined it in a way that looked like it was upside down. It actually made it be right side up. So this is just going to be a little gift card pocket, and it's a little taller than what I want it to be, so I am going to come in and trim, I don't know, I'm going to trim about 1 inch off so that it's, yeah, 2.5 inches tall is plenty. And then I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to cut this in half, and we're going to make a little gusset for our pocket. The reason we use gussets, and I know I say this often, but you'd be surprised how many times somebody new finds my channel and they go, oh, thank you for sharing that. So the reason we use a gusset is that it gives us the full width of our pocket. If you were to glue the side down, or if you were to use score tape, you would lose some of the width, and it would limit how much you could put in. So I'm just folding these little pieces of paper in half. I'm placing adhesive on one side, and I'm lining the folded edge up against the open edge, and I'm coming up to the top. And real quick, before I'm I'm just going to ink this a little bit to make this pocket pop a little bit more. And then we're just going to come in, place our adhesive on the top of the flap. And then we're just going to fold. And now you've got a gift card pocket. Isn't that great? So we're going to take this piece and we're going to adhere it. And you can't even see where the paper was joined, which is really cool. Now, if you wanted to switch that around so that the text was on the top and the print, the text, yeah, the print is on the top and the floral is on the bottom, you absolutely can. So this panel is cut to just a hair over 4 inches. It's not even quite 4 1/8. And I do that so that I can clear the sides. And then I've cut some of this really pretty barnwood paper. And this is cut to, remember these are 2 1/8. So this is 2 by just a little bit under 8 1/2. So those go in on the sides. And you can make a bookmark to put in that pocket. You can stick a gift card in there. You can put a tea bag. You can do, I mean, whatever strikes your fancy. But that's the basics there. And then, I know this doesn't make sense now, but it will make sense. So just hang with me. I need a scrap of my craft paper. There we go. I'm just going to put this on there. And this is cut out from a 3x4 card. So hang with me. There's a mystery, but mysteries are fun. And I'm going to put this right on my pocket. And I'm going to take one of these guys. Do you guys remember when these were all the rage? I still like them. So just going to kind of line this up. There we go. And let's see. And then here's a nice sentiment to go over here on the side. Because this collection is all about friendship. There's a lot of really great friendship sayings. And then we're going to wait on that. All right, so now close this. I'm going to burnish it down. This is a real simple card, but it really looks good. So again, these are 2 inches by just over, just under 8 1/2. And this is kind of a stylized text. And of course, you can use this same design with any paper that you happen to have in your stash. So then I took piece of our barn wood and I cut it to measure 3 3/4 by 6. I matted it on a slightly larger piece of our cherry cobbler and a slightly larger piece of our craft. And we're going to adhere half of this to the front, because if we adhere the whole thing to the front, we lose the ability to open our cards. So that's going to go down just like that. And I want to put this, here's to the nights that turned into mornings with the friends that turned into family. That goes in that pocket. All right. Put this over on the side. This kind of ties the front in with the inside. So I want to glue this ephemera card up here. All right. So see, that covered the back of our paper, so everything looks finished. And this is the only tricky thing. This is such a simple card, and this is not really even tricky. It's just knowing how to do it. So I took my tiara rondelle, and first I cut it out of craft paper, and then I cut it out of a piece of the patterned paper. There's a black floral. What I did was glue those two together. Then I inset the negative that they pop out of the die back inside the little filigree pieces. And then I backed this with also the piece cut out from the craft, and then I backed it with foam tape. So this makes a really pretty frame for our focal sentiment. This time I'm not using an image, I'm using a sentiment. This is kind of a cleaner card design because it's of the more modern feel. So we're just going to center this up over this barnwood like this. And then this is the top of this. So I just cut between this to keep the two friends, true friends are like diamonds. Then I matted it on burlap. And this is going to go right here in the center. Just like that. So now we're going to bring in our flowers. And here's what I like to do. I like to make sure that I am not going to run any risk of gluing anything from this onto my other side of my card. So I slip a little piece of scrap cardstock in there, and we're just going to layer up some pretty flowers. Look how pretty this looks. This is such a pretty color combination. And I chose these because of the reference to diamonds in the inside sentiment, because these look like they have diamonds in the center. So you can see when I laid these out, I kind of created a little curve. I put this one behind the middle one, and I put this one over the middle one. And that works really well. Now I'm going to take a couple of leaves, tuck them in under here. All right. This is called Raw Silk Delicate Stitch Satin. And I tied a bow with this. I'm folding the loops back. I'm putting the glue on the knot. Then I'm lifting this, and I'm going to come in with my tonic scissors because they don't stick, and I'm going to press that bow into that space. And then I tied a gold bow just to, you know, pick up on the gold. And this is going to go right in here on top. The reason I use my scissors is because that glue is hot, people. And you don't have to touch it too many times before you become very cautious with it. Now see why I did this? I actually got a little glue on there, but because I put this paper in there, it's not a problem. We dodged a bullet. And I'll come back once the glue has dried. I can snip that off with my little scissors. Okay, so up here on this side, I just want to put, just to balance it out, I want to put one of these medium-sized flowers right here. And then one of these little tiny flowers on either side. So this time I'm going to tuck this one under here. I'm going to glue that one right there. What a pretty card. This turned out good, guys. Oop, hot glue. Okay. Tuck that in. There. Perfect. All right. All right, then as a last sort of step, instead of sequins, which I like, I'm going to take I kind of like these metallic looking ones. So I want one here. Oops. I always put a little bit of adhesive down behind these because sometimes the adhesive doesn't always hold. So I kind of made a little triangle there. And I'm going to put, let's see, this one here. And this one here. This one here. And then let's put one here. Let's just take one. And that completes our card. Really pretty and easy. So I'll probably mat this on a little scrap of cherry cobbler just so it looks a little more finished, and then back it with white cardstock so that there's a sentiment panel. But that is our Gatefold Slimline card for Throwback Thursday. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up if you did, because if you do that, YouTube circulates this video more and more people can find it. All right, I'm going to clean up my mess and get my craft done. Thanks for joining me. Bye.